Hey community, my name is Avery and we're back with the Sermon Podcast. This week we're going over our new sermon series called Maybe. We're in part 1 this week. The title headline is How to Deal with My Doubts. We're in the sermon series the whole month of May. I hope you can understand the play on words, the maybe. We're in the month of May. Today's actually May 1st.
It is May 1st.
It's the 1st of May. So maybe we'll get this podcast rolling.
It's got to be May.
It's going to be May.
That's a big deal, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So this is, my name's Brooks Everett, and thanks for having me on here, Avery. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And so we're talking about doubts, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and where those doubts come from. And how do we deal with them once we have them?
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you see as some of the places that doubts come from? Or what did you read in the sermon notes? Either way.
One thing that I see in my life all the time is my doubts come from a place of fear. I mean, that's where I feel like everyone's doubts probably most likely stem from is a place of fear. What is doubting something if you don't believe it's true or you're fearing that it's not true?
Right.
So,
okay. Fearing that it's not true. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting, and we'll see in the sermon notes, it talks about critics and unconscious, our own mind.
Mm-hmm.
But circumstances, I've seen so many people where their circumstances change.
Yep.
All of a sudden things are bad and rough, and it's like, now, is there really a God? And I was like, It's sad because what's happening to us in our life doesn't change the fact that God is real and that He exists and that He loves us. But it makes us wonder because He's not doing it the way we think He should. And so we see the circumstances being bad in our life, and so we're doubting.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite illustrations that actually Steve Good told me. It was white knuckling onto something, just trying to hold on so tight to a way of thinking, or at Celebrate Recovery, your recovery, trying to hold on so tight, but you try and do it on your own strength.
Yeah.
And that kind of doing it your own way, once things go a different way and your circumstances change, you start doubting what on earth is real. And sometimes you start doubting what if God is real.
And it's interesting, you said Celebrate Recovery and doing it on your own way, because one of their first things is admit that you can't do this on your own. And that's one of the points that's going to be there is admit your doubts. Know that you wonder. But then I love the way it's going to be said. Those of you that take notes, you'll see it in the sermon notes, to doubt my doubts. Basically, to trust God, not myself.
Yep.
And I don't think I've ever told you, I'll tell you when the biggest time where I struggled with doubting God, it was really only one time in my life where I was really wondering, because it was after our son James had died. My wife Monica got sick several times, like really bad, like going to the hospital sick, like you could die of a broken heart. And we're there the third time in 3 months, and she almost passed away, and they brought her back and they had her stable. And dude, I went out in the parking lot, I was so mad at God. I went off on God. I'm like, are you kidding? There's people that I didn't get it, because I was like, it feels like God didn't love me.
Yeah.
It felt like God wasn't in control. It felt like God made a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And so I was doubting God. Yeah. But there I was in a parking lot of what was then Henry Medical Center, and I realized, but what I know to be true from Scripture is that God does love me. What I know to be true is that He is perfect. And even though I don't understand this, He doesn't make mistakes. And so I had to decide, am I going to live by what I know to be true or by how I feel? Or by what my doubts are. Yeah. And so that was a big time of doubting my doubts. Don't lean on to how I felt. The Scripture says, don't lean on your own understanding. Yeah. But trust the Lord. And that was a huge moment for me. And I think we all see that when circumstances happen and we have these doubts, we have to realize that the faith that we need is a faith in God, not a faith in who we thought God was.
Exactly.
Or what He's supposed to do.
Exactly. That's awesome.
You hit that last point. I think that's a good one.
Circumstances or?
No, the very last point, right there.
Oh, begin with the faith I have. Actually, I really like this verse that's on here. It's Mark 9:24. The Father instantly cried out, "I do believe, but help me overcome my unbelief." One thing I think that a lot of people forget is that it's kind of within human nature. And when I say human nature, I mean your flesh nature. To want to not, really want to not believe. Yeah. I guess if you want to say it that way. But it's okay to pray and ask for your faith to be increased.
Oh, 100%.
It is, and I struggled with that for a long time. I'm like, okay, well, why is my faith? Why isn't it this way? Why isn't it so strong? I see other people who are so much stronger in their faith.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do I increase this? Well, I mean, put that in the hands of the Father.
Well, and you know what stinks? You know what increases our faith? Is going through difficulties.
Yeah.
So bad circumstances.
Going through all those bad
That make us
circumstances.
doubt. Those are the things that strengthen our faith, because we see God be faithful through it all, even at times when we question who He is and what He's
Yeah, exactly.
So so that's the deal. Basically, you did a good job, I think.
Yeah.
So if you watch the message, then you already got that. This is a little bit after. But if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. CommunityBibleChurch.com, right?
CommunityBibleChurch.com, anywherechurch.com as well.
Yeah.
It'll be on demand after 5 p.m.
Perfect. All right. Have a great day. Love Jesus. Be nice to people.
See you guys.